Hey everyone, welcome to your back bend practice today. I am toying around with different angles, so I hope this angle ends up working. You could possibly benefit from having two blocks and one strap. One thing in particular that we will be one pose in particular that we'll be working towards is Urdhva Dhanurasana or upward bow pose, sometimes referred to as wheel pose, which not only requires a lot of strength and stability in the shoulders, but also through the wrists. So throughout the class, we'll touch upon how you can strengthen the wrists throughout your practice on your own, as well as, of course, create more mobility and space in our thoracic spine, which is the upper part of the spine, as well as, of course, the shoulders. So let's start with our block. You're going to take the block and place it in between your forearms, like so. So you're holding the block in between the forearms with both of your palms facing one another. And you're more than welcome to bring your elbows slightly more forward than your belly. Okay? Your elbows are not straight, but they're also not bent. Maintain length to the spine, or rather bring your spine to upright. And with your next exhalation, draw in through your belly button and see how much you're able to soften through the lowest part of the ribs. So you're working to contain through the whole front part of your body. Inhaling to draw up through the crown of the head. And then with your next exhalation, begin to bend your wrists. And the way that we're bending the wrist is through something that we call extension. So think of the back parts of your hands, the back part of your hands reaching towards the front part of the forearms. As you're doing this, you're actively squeezing between the block or into the block. So the bellies of the forearms are hugging in nice and tightly into the block. Take another full breath in. As you exhale, backs of the hands even closer towards the forearms. And then very slowly straighten the wrists. And then with your arms, bring them, with your elbows, bring them to the height of your shoulders. Okay, so your upper arm bones are roughly parallel towards the earth. Okay, inhaling here and exhaling again, squeezing the bellies of the forearms tightly into the block. Again, the idea is the same. We'll keep the spine upright. But with the following exhalation, begin to again extend through your wrists. So this will help to strengthen the extensors of your wrists, which are the muscles that run down the front part of the forearm, responsible for bending your wrists in this particular direction. Take another full breath here. Pull the backs of the hands down even more. And then slowly straighten the wrists. Let's release the block down. Place both of the hands onto the yoga mat and find a tabletop pose. Okay? Let this tabletop pose be closer, or rather walk your feet closer towards the back part of the mat. Wrists are underneath the shoulders. And then in the tabletop pose, simply push down through your hands. Pressing the hands into the floor, like you're pushing the floor away from you. And then begin to curl your chest towards cow pose. So allow the tailbone to lift, open your throat, look forward, and feel that while your elbows are straight, you're able to pull the front of your chest towards the space in front of you. Now maintaining the arch of the spine as we begin to walk our hands out in front of us. We're moving in towards puppy pose or anahatasana. Hands are shoulders distance. As you begin to lower your forehead towards the ground, maybe your chin touches the floor, maybe nothing touches the floor, but your focus here is to keep pushing into the hands, actively lifting the forearms, actively lifting the upper arm bones. So if your elbows are touching the floor, let them straighten. And then see if you can push the floor away from you even more to lift the arms. But what you can keep heavy is the head, as well as the center part of your chest. Push into your hands, come up with your chest. Walk the hands back towards you into tabletop pose. And again, find that cow. Inhale, look forward. Okay, look forward, lift the tailbone. Pause and push the hands into the ground. Feel your hands pushing into the floor. Keep your elbows straight. And then additionally, feel like your wrists are being pulled towards the knees. Knees pulling forward towards the wrists. Take another inhalation. And with your next exhale, simply move towards table pose where the spine is neutral. Walk the hands forward once again, back towards Anahatasana, heart opening pose. And this time we'll place both of our elbows onto the ground. Walk the palms together. Notice your elbows a little, notice how your elbows are about shoulders distance. Let's lift both and bring them closer. And then lower your head down this time. Bend your elbows and bring your thumbs towards your upper back. Some of you will be able to connect the thumbs to the shoulder blades. Some of you may not. But what we all can do is walk the elbows about 2 to 4 more centimeters forward, and then gently press the body back. This will help to lengthen through the triceps, as well as target the upper part of our spine to bring it a little bit more space, to give it a bit more space. The navel is lifting, and as you exhale, the heart softens even more. Let's straighten both of our arms, baby fingers to the ground. Separate the hands, shoulders distance, and make your way back to tabletop pose. Wrists below the shoulders. As we once again find cow pose, look forward. Hold the cow as you press into the hands a lot. So feel that you're pressing down through the 10 fingertips. You're pressing through the base of your palms, and your elbows are straight. Feel the heart moving more forward between the gateway of the arms. Exhale, tabletop pose. Okay, place your right hand at the back part of your head. If this is too tight for the shoulder, your right fingertips can rest at the temple. On your exhalation, turn your chest towards the right, open through the heart. When we exhale, we're bringing our right elbow towards our left thumb. Inhale, open through the chest. That right elbow is to the sky. Make sure that as you do this, your left arm stays straight. This time, bring your elbow forward. Let it come towards your left thumb. Circle the elbow back as you open the chest, right elbow back to the sky. This time, elbow back, down towards the left thumb forward, and then up towards the sky. Stay here, opening your chest to the right, and then reach your right hand into the sky. Continue to push through your left hand, hug in through the belly button, and see how much through the right side of your chest you're able to open. And then right hand down onto the floor. Let's round our spine. Exhale, cat. Push the floor away from you and round. Tabletop pose. Inhale. Place your left palm at the back of your head, or again, as an option, fingers towards the temple. With your next exhalation, turn the chest to the left. Keep your right arm straight. Bring your left elbow towards the right thumb. Make sure your elbow does not bend, the right elbow that is. And then this time, take your elbow forward, opening the chest as your elbow points to the sky. And then continue to reach the elbow back, down, bypassing the thumb. And then here, you're going to take the elbow back, open through your chest, elbow to the sky, and then hold here. Push into your right hand so your arm is straight. And then when you feel you can, release your left hand and reach high into the air. Opening the chest as you twist, and then left hand onto the floor. Find a cat pose. Exhale. Inhale, look forward, and then walk your hands forward so you're able to find downward dog. Take about 2 breaths here. Push back through your thighs. Look towards the hands. Let's step our right foot forward. Place the left knee down onto your yoga mat. Inhale, lift both of your arms above your head. And then exhale, bend your elbows like cactus arms. Then continue to bend your elbows even deeper, as though you want them to touch the sides of the waist. But as you do this, continue to also reach back through your arms. Your arms reach up into the sky. Inhale. Downward dog. Exhale. Look forward to the hands, and we'll step our left foot forward. Right knee down onto the floor, and with your breath in, you'll reach both of your arms to the sky. Take a moment to feel that your tailbone is curling down. Okay, create stability in your pelvis. Bend your elbows towards cactus, and then you can take a brief pause. Now, as you pull your elbows even lower, make sure you also draw them back in space so as to open through your chest. The tailbone is still rooting. Stretch your arms high into the air. Breathe in. Back to down dog. Breathe out. Now forward towards high plank. Inhale. With your exhale, lower the knees and find the arching like cow. Look forward. Move your chest towards the front and you bend your elbows towards Ashtanga Namaskara, or 8-point pose. Keep lifting the fronts of the shoulders. Keep lifting the buttock bones higher. Point the toes. Now see if you can begin to round your lower back so as to bring the front of your hips down and move the chest forward in that Bhujangasana Cobra. Downward dog with the exhale. Look towards your hands and we'll step right foot forward, left knee to the floor. Inhale, lift your arms. Again, right away, curl your tailbone forward, bend your elbows to cactus arms, this time palms face forward and elbows stay at the height of the shoulders. Now see here if you're able to externally rotate the shoulders, which will help to move your elbows forward and the fingers back. Notice here that your wrists are not bending. So if you were to glance at your wrists, they would still be straight on both sides. Join the hands together in prayer. Fold about halfway forward. Then you're going to step your left foot towards a chair pose. Sitting deeper with your chest high. Twist to your right. Hook the left elbow outside of the knee. Let's quickly glance down at our feet and notice how they're roughly hip distance apart. So with that space, you want to ensure your knees are the same width. Once you're there, push the elbow deeper and twist. Then with legs strong, untwist as your arms come high into the air. Chair. Sweep your arms behind your back. Have the right thumb on the top as you forward fold. Exhale. Bring your chest closer to the thighs and your face towards the shins. Come all the way to standing. Inhale. Lift your arms. Look up. And as you exhale, join hands to prayer. Okay, release your hands and then inhale. Lift your arms up to the sky. Uttanasana. Fold. Half lifting. Inhale. Plank pose, exhale. Come onto the tip of the toes, breathe in, and then bend your elbows, chaturanga to the floor. Straighten your arms with palms facing down, and then inhale, lift your chest, but keep your feet actively pressing down. So you're grounding through all 10 toenails, and seeing if the front of the shoulders can lift higher, the backs of the arms lift higher. Keep your chest lifted as you bend your elbows, hands on the floor, Bhujangasana. Down dog, exhale. And look towards your hands and you go left foot forward. Right knee meeting the floor, and we'll inhale to lift both of our arms up. Again, so when we come to these asymmetrical lunges, Right away, curl the tailbone south. Bend your elbows towards cactus. So cactus arms, your elbows are roughly the height of the shoulders, upper arm bones parallel towards the floor. This time with our cactus arms, we rotate externally through our shoulders, like we're presenting the elbow tips more forward while the tips of the fingers are actually pointing back. Bring your hands to prayer, vertical in the spine. You're gonna fold halfway and step your right foot hip distance away from the left as you sit in towards chair. Heart is high. Twist to the left, exhale. Looking down at the knees. So here, with the knees the same width as the ankles, this will really help you to strengthen the outer part of the thighs as well as the outer hips. Whereas when the feet and knees are together, there's a squeezing in, and that helps to strengthen the inner part of the legs. Let's take another breath, sit deeper, and then untwist, find your chair, keep the seat as your arms rise. Your hands will reach behind you, left thumb on top this time, and then forward fold, chest to thighs, face to shin bones. Take 2 breaths more. Let's rise all the way to the sky, lifting both of the arms. Look up and also reach back slightly here. And with your exhale, fold forward. Right away, we'll bow. Half lift, and then high plank. Come forward onto the tip of the toes, and then bend your elbows through chaturanga so you're lying down. Arms are straight, palms face up this time. Inhale, lift your chest and the arms. Make sure that the 10 toenails press into the floor. Here, can you extend your wrists? So meaning, bend your wrists in a way that your palms end up facing the back. Keep the upper arm bones hugging to the sides of the body. And as best as you can, without touching the floor, begin to move your hands forward next to the chest. Let the hands hover, lift heart higher. Then keep the chest up as you place the hands down. Bhujangasana, cobra pose. Down dog with your exhalation breath. Look forward, right foot between the hands, left knee to your mat. With your inhale, lift your arms, keep the tailbone curling forward. And remember, with our second Anahatasana, we had our palms touching, and then bend your elbows to something that we can refer to as drop prayer. So thumbs coming towards the base of your neck, perhaps between the shoulder blades, and then actively hug the inner elbows closer to the sides of your head. Remember that the tailbone is still curling forward. There's still an action of deeply lunging. Now lift your elbow joints higher, pull the upper arm bones away from the wall you're facing, and then as you bring your spine to vertical, release your hands and find yourself in 3-legged downward dog pose. So allow your right leg to rise high into the sky. The hips are level, the leg is straight, lift more through your thigh. Look to the hands and step your right foot forward. Find Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2 pose to come up. Look over your front middle finger, deeply lunge. You're gonna lift your back arm to the sky, that's the left arm. Place the hand between the shoulder blades, and then right hand coming on top of that left elbow. With your hand, gently pull your elbow to the midline, and then start pressing the left elbow down as though your left fingers were able to walk closer to the buttocks. As you're doing so, maintain connection or containment through the front part of your body. Tailbone is rooting and lower ribs softening. Take another breath as you sink deeper. You're going to straighten the front leg, release your arms back, reverse Trikonasana, triangle pose. Then both of your hands end up framing the foot and you step towards downward dog. Exhale. Inhale forward towards plank. And then exhale, lower through chaturanga, where you can go to the floor or stay where you are. Upward dog or cobra pose, inhaling shoulder heads back. Exhale, down dog. Okay, full breath in. Push back through thighs, full breath out. Look to the hands, left foot forward. Right knee meeting your mat, and then with the breath in, reach your arms, draw the hip bones up into the stomach. Palms are together, bend your elbows towards drop prayer. Do you remember drop prayer? Thumbs towards the shoulder blades, center of the shoulder blades, and then notice if your elbows are pulling apart. That might happen, so energetically squeeze the inner elbows towards your head, squeeze the biceps towards your ears. Continue to lunge, lift the elbow joints higher, and pull the arm bones away from the place that you're facing. As the spine goes to vertical, release your hands and then find three-legged downward dog. The left leg is straight and the hips are squared. See if that left thigh is able to rise higher. Look forward and go light in your step between the hands. Virabhadrasana 2, that is warrior 2 pose. Gaze forward over your front middle finger. Make sure there's an active rooting through the outer back foot. Bend deeper into your front leg. Take that right arm towards the sky, that's the back arm. Place the hand perhaps to the base of your neck, some of you even lower. Left hand through the rose bush. Left hand to your right elbow and gently press it down. So here you might feel like your body is twisting to face forward. Work to keep the front of your body facing the right side. Draw your tailbone down, soften through your ribs, and still pull your elbow to the midline. Still press your elbow south. We're going to straighten the front leg, release both of your arms back, maybe right hand to the leg, reverse Trikonasana. And then hands to the floor as you find yourselves in downward dog. Step it back. Okay, full breath in. Breathe out. Let's take it forward to high plank. Inhale. Hold your plank as you hug the belly button in. Now more actively push through your hands. Push your hands into your mat. Through the perimeter of the palm, the base of each knuckle, and through all 10 finger pads. Pushing into the floor as though you wanted your wrists to go straight. Continue to push through your hands as you come forward onto the toe tips. Bend your elbows through chaturanga, perhaps to the floor. Cobra or upward dog. Inhale, pause as you open through your chest. Down dog, exhale there. Stretch the right leg to the sky, breathing in. Look forward and step the right foot next to the thumb. With your back leg straight, rise up into high crescent lunge. So as we did before with Anjaneyasana, we are still working to curl the tailbone down. It may be more difficult to do here because of the back knee lifted, so you can always soften the back knee a touch. This will give you more ability to work or move your pelvis to a place that is more stable. And then once it's level and strong, you can re-straighten the back knee. We're going to twist, so as best as you can, please keep that tailbone working towards the floor. Left hand forward and right arm back. Now instead of leaning forward, lean slightly towards the back part of your space. Your front knee is still bending. Draw in through your abdomen, lift through the breastbone. And with your exhalation, bring the right side of your chest back. You can most certainly face your right or even towards your right thumb. Then we're going to bring our left hand to the floor, our right arm to the sky, stretching it over our ear, and then turn 1/4 to the left as you find Skandasana with your left leg bending and the front leg straightening. If it's possible, well, number one, I'll give you the most accessible option, which is to have the hands on the floor. Some of you might go hands together in prayer. There may be one or two of you who have the left hand out to the side and your right arm up in the air. You might even feel that you can bind. Whatever you're doing, it's only another full breath. And then make your way to Skandasana with your front leg bending, that's the right, and left leg straight. Right away, turn to face to the front, three-leg downward dog, right leg up. As that leg lifts, bend the knee, but keep the hips squared. So hug the inner thigh to the midline, lift your right thigh higher, and then look to the hands. Take your body forward halfway. So shoulders not over the wrists, but slightly behind them, and then lift the chin away from the chest, look forward. Can you imagine the back of your head reaching towards the big toe, and the big toe reaching towards the back of your head? Place your right foot on the floor, down dog. Exhale there. If you wish to take a vinyasa, go ahead with your own breath. Left leg rising high, full breath in, and left foot forward. Right knee is straight, rise to your high crescent lunge. Another way you can help stabilize the pelvis is by thinking of the outer hips squeezing into the midline of your body, still working the hip bones up into the stomach. As you feel steady and strong through your legs, we'll go to that open twist with the right arm forward and the left arm back. So the open twist helps to really create more mobility in the upper spine. You're using the muscles of the waist, the muscles of the ribs, to help turn your body to the left. See how much you can move the left side of your chest away from the left side of your mat. Now the right hand ends up touching the floor, your left arm is to the sky, right away stretch it over the ear, and then end up turning to the right. Walk to the back of your mat with your with your right leg bending and the left leg straightening. Again, options to keep hands on floor or hands to prayer. Okay, maybe right arm is along the inside of the knee, hand out, left arm high, and then perhaps some of you will bind. One more breath. Keep your buttocks low to the floor as you find Skandasana with your left leg bending and the right leg straightening. Turn to face the front, hands to the floor, three-leg dog. Stretch your left leg up towards the sky. The hip remains squared, bend your knee. You might feel like your left thigh is heavy. Work against gravity, keep lifting the thigh up and squeezing the heel to the buttock. Look forward, come halfway to plank. So not over the wrists, but rather shoulders are slightly behind. Push into the floor, shoulder blades wide on your back, and then begin to lift the chin, open the throat, look forward. As best as you can, imagine the back of your head is coming closer to the big toe and vice versa. And as you might see here, there's not a lot going on here physically. Well, I take that back. There's a lot happening physically, but you may not see significant movement. And then left foot to the floor, downward facing dog. So all that to say is, even though you may not see the toe coming closer to the head, the action itself will help strengthen the back. It'll improve your hip extension and the mobility of your upper spine. Take another breath. If you would like a vinyasa, do so on your own. Rise on the balls of the feet. Look forward, bend the knees. You're welcome to walk, step, or hop to the front of your yoga mat. Look straight ahead, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Rise all the way to the sky. Inhale, lift your arms, look up. And with the exhalation breath, hands to heart, gaze down to your hands. Okay, breathing in and breathing out. Release your hands and grab your strap. If you don't have a strap, in lieu of one, you can use a belt or perhaps a tie. And you can even use a stick or a dowel. So I've, in the past, used my broomstick. Of course, you just want to remove the broom head. Now, if you hold the towel, the strap, belt, or towel, you're going to pull your hands away from each other so they're roughly shoulders distance or perhaps a touch wider. Now, we're going to work our shoulders through something called extension. So pull your arms back as much as you can. Notice if you're backward bending, in which case tailbone roots, navel in, soften through the ribs. And then from there, see how much more you're able to pull the arms away from the back. Inhale, exhale, fold while pulling the arms away from you, still. Most certainly here, bend your knees to feel that the ribs rest along the thighs, and perhaps your nose is able to travel towards the calves. Now pause and connect with where your arms are in space, where your arms are relative to the back of your pelvis. Maintain that distance as you look forward, inhale. Keep the hands away from the buttocks as you draw the chest forward and rise up. Hold. Allow the front of the shoulders to draw back. Take the lowest part of the ribs and pull them into the stomach. Take another inhalation, pull the strap apart. Exhale, reach the arms away from you. And then release, place your strap down. Join your big toes to touch. Tadasana, stand nice and tall. With your breath in, lift your arms, palms together. With your breath out, bend your elbows, drop prayer, bend your legs, Utkatasana, chair pose. Think of the wrists hooking into the base part of your neck. And then with that, you're working to lengthen the neck by lifting the base of the skull higher whilst hugging the inner elbows in. Fold over your legs, exhale out. Find half lift. Chaturanga Dandasana, you can step or jump through, but then pause and end up lying down on the floor. So let's take our hands, one on top of the other, and rest the forehead on the hands. You could even have your chin resting on the hands. Thighs are about hip distance apart. So we'll actually keep the thighs separated rather than squeezing. Allow your pubic bone to push down and then bend into your right knee, heel towards the buttock. Notice here if your right thigh is wanting to move away from the midline, keep squeezing it in. And then with your heel close to the glutes, are you able to lift your right thigh up? Perhaps root down through the top of your left foot to see if your right thigh is able to lift higher. Right thigh down, right foot to the floor. Exhale. Pubic bone roots into the earth. Bend into the left leg, heel towards the glute, pause. Connect with your left thigh and the position that it's in. If you feel like it's moving away from the midline, hug your inner thigh towards the right. Keep your pubic bone pressing into your yoga mat. And with the next exhalation, lift as best as you can the top of your thigh away from the floor. You might feel your opposite leg go heavier. Maybe root through your right toenails to find more lift in the left thigh bone. Left thigh to earth, left foot to floor. Relax and breathe out. Inhaling here. Exhaling. Take your arms along the sides of your body. With the same idea of letting the pubic bone root downwards, bend your knees. You'll feel perhaps a little bit more opening through the quadriceps while they're contracting. Reach both of your hands back and see if you can bring both of the hands to touch the ankles or the feet simultaneously. Then reconnect pubic bone into the earth. Breathe in. With your exhalation, allow the tops of your ankles or the tops of the feet to press into the palms, opening the chest in Dhanurasana, bow pose. Keep the inner thighs hugging towards the midline of your body, meaning the inner thighs come towards each other even though they may not necessarily touch. Stay with your breath. Take one more. Lower very slowly towards the earth. Let go of your hands, let go of your feet. And take a full breath. Let's set our hands to either side of our chest. Press towards a seat. Then take your feet to either side of you as we bring our legs forward and end up lying on our back in supine. So feet, when you lie down, are hips distance, and your heels are underneath your knees. So there is a cue, there's an instruction that's said quite a lot, which is bring your fingers to touch the heels. Now, this doesn't always work for everyone, because for some people, in order for their fingers to touch the heels, they actually bring their feet behind the knees. Now, there isn't anything wrong with that as such, but it does create a deeper compression through the whole of the spine, which, if you're not so open, might cause a little bit of discomfort. So think as a starting position, heels directly under the knees, so that your shin bones are vertical up and down. You may not be able to see, so really connect with a deeper body awareness. Now, take your hands to either side of your head. Your hands are as wide as you would have them in downward dog, which is about shoulders distance apart, right? Outer shoulders. So the way that I like to reference the hands is when I'm in down dog and my hands are shoulders distance, where is my baby finger or where is my ring finger relative to the edges of the mat? Then when I end up on my back, I know that coming into Urdhva Dhanurasana, my baby fingers need to be just off of the yoga mats for them to be shoulders distance. And I say that because in Urdhva Dhanurasana, it's very common to see people bringing their hands closer towards the head, which then narrows the distance of the hands, creating perhaps more pressure on the shoulders, but less space. So, having said that, hands are on either side of your head. Then when you're ready, hug the elbows in, root through your palms, press through your feet without letting them turn out, come up towards the crown of the head, and then pause there. Perhaps this is as far as you go. Walk your hands a little bit closer towards the feet, squeeze the elbows in, and then draw the shoulder blades onto your back. If you're coming up, full inhale, exhale, press into your hands. Keep hugging the elbows in as your arms go straight. Okay, the elbows, of course, might go out, that's fine, but you keep working the hugging in. Then if you do come up completely, allow your chest to reach towards the wall that you're facing, and then maybe your heels are able to walk closer towards the back part of your mat. Keep pushing through your hands, elbows straight, hug them in, allow your heart to reach back. 3, hug the inner thighs together. 2, and then lower with control towards the floor, where you'll separate the feet around shoulders distance to mat's width, and have your knees lightly touching together. Release your hands, close your eyes. Feel into your breath. Okay, open your eyes. So we'll do a second round of Urdhva Dhanurasana. I'll explain a supportive or a modification that helps to create a bit more support, or you can also think of it as creating more space, and that is using 2 blocks. The blocks that I have here are not of the same height, which isn't that big of a deal, but over time you do want to make sure that they're of the same height. So you have equal space between right and left leg. So with the blocks, you can either place them underneath your feet. Okay, this gives more space to the back, or you can place them underneath the hands. So for today, I'll place them underneath the feet. The heels are still roughly underneath the knees, and then we'll go with hands to either side of the head. I should additionally say that even if you're not coming to straight arms, resting on the crown of the head will help to create strength, more strength in your shoulders to be able to support you when you eventually work towards straightening the arms. All right, place your hands to either side of your head. Baby fingers, once again, in my case anyway, are tucked just off of the edges of the mat. Press the feet against the blocks, lift the buttocks already here, push through your hands, and come towards the crown of the head. Here, it's important that you walk the hands a little bit closer towards the feet, so there's a bit more stability. Your wrists end up underneath the shoulders when you come up. Breathe in, push through the feet and the hands, and come up through straight arms. So here I can already feel that this is a little bit more space for me to push the chest back. The only thing is you want to make sure that your feet don't slide off of the blocks. Hug the thighs together. Stay where you are. Push the chest towards the back. Can you stay for another breath in? Exhale. Begin bending your arms lower to the crown. Then tuck the chin and end up with your back flat. Remove the blocks from underneath your feet. Knees together again, constructive rest. And then feel into your body. Breathe out completely. Open your eyes and reach both of your feet up towards the sky. Your legs can be bent. Excuse me. Your legs can be slightly bent, but as best as you can, see if your heels can be stacked above the pelvis. Hands can be on the floor to support you. Very gently or lightly root the lower back into the floor as the belly button draws in. Take both knees, bend them with your left hand on the left knee and the right hand on the right. Split the knees apart. Draw your knees towards the armpits. Happy baby pose. Take 2 more breaths. As you let go of your feet, wrap your right leg around the left leg. So eagle in your legs. And then we're going to lower the legs over towards our left, spinal twist. Stretch your right arm out. Looking towards your right hand. Or you can close your eyes, chin towards your right shoulder. The head is forward. Untwist. Release your legs. Left leg on top of the right leg. When you're ready, shift both of the legs to your right side. And then allow your left arm to reach to the left. Gazing towards your left shoulder. If your eyes closed, go ahead, but think of chin towards the shoulder. We're going to slowly come back to center, unwrap the legs, hug both knees in towards the chest, arms around your legs, grab onto the elbows or the wrists, and squeeze. Let go of your legs, bring them straight to the floor, arms along the sides of your body with palms facing up. Take a long exhalation. Shavasana. Feel more spacious in your heart, across the shoulders, in your upper back. Feel stronger and also perhaps more spacious through your wrists. Take a moment of thanks to this body for allowing us to move through our practice in a way that connects us more deeply to ourselves. I'll leave you here and look forward to the next time that we practice together. Namaste.